Booyah. Okay, cool. Well, it is our April EngRes The Gathering. I hope everyone is doing wonderfully and starting to enjoy some of these spring flowers. We have a packed agenda for the day, so we're going to sprint through everything. Please stay on time. We have a lot of project updates, so please don't take 3 minutes. One is great, one is good. But we're gonna run through those. We have some amazing spotlights on recent launches. And then we have a deep dive on updates to the PL directory, which is the #1 most used tool in the Protocol Labs network. So if you're not already using it, you're gonna get to know exactly how to do it. If you wanna follow along with these slides, lots of things have links and things to click on. Grab the little QR code, I'll stick it in chat, and you can follow along as people are talking about things. Cool. So if it's your first time here, welcome to the Protocol Labs Network. We're excited to have you. Across this ecosystem, we are driving breakthroughs in computing to push humanity forward across tons of startups, research projects, new innovations, open source communities. And specifically what we're doing here in this group is we're helping groups percolate knowledge and information so we can all stay updated on new breakthroughs that are happening across this space. We can support projects that are crossing this research to development chasm, and we can help grow the OSS projects, networks, and communities in this ecosystem so we can do more work together faster, better, stronger as our little cohort of amazing wizards that we are. A couple recent exciting things to highlight. There was a virtual libp2p day. If you missed it, that's okay. It's all online and recorded. If you grab this link here, there's lots of keynotes, there's Q&A, there's recorded demos by a lot of the main libp2p implementations. Go check it out. It was a really fun gathering, packed virtual room with lots of people sharing great intel. Talk about in-person gatherings, the first Proto Builders Conference, Atmosphere, convened folks across the IPFS, IPLD, Blue Sky, and similar communities in Seattle a couple weeks back. Go check that out. They also have a chunk of recordings and takeaways from the conference, and it was an amazing gathering. We also got the whole network together across ETH Denver back in the end of February. It was amazing to see everyone in person. There was an amazing PL Founders Dinner, which I got told a couple of times was people's favorite gathering of the ETH Denver conference. There were some great deep in dinners, lots of great intel and ideas shared. So hopefully people had some great co-loing there. You're going to hear about it later in the session, but proof of data possession, the hot fast storage proof for Filecoin to complement proof of replication, is now live on Mainnet. Go check it out or stick around and watch some of the updates from Zen later in this session. Also, USDFC is now live, so you can now be paying people with a Filecoin-backed stablecoin, can start using it for deal payments, use it for liquidity, for borrowing. If you got a chunk of FIL and you want to make sure that you can pay people in USD, USDFC is a useful thing and tool for you to use. So go check out how you can use it. Things that are coming up very soon. The Filecoin Network version 25 is launching on Monday. It's bringing F3, which is fast finality for Filecoin, which is a huge leap forward for exchanges, DeFi, folks that want really fast finality and interoperability with Filecoin chain. There's also a number of other FIPS for termination fees, gas accounting, per sector fees, things like that are also going to be landing on Monday. So get excited and take advantage of those changes. Speaking of which, we are also going to be convening a number of folks across the Filecoin community for our virtual FDS kickoff. This is the first time we're doing a set of virtual sessions. We have 6 days, 6 tracks, 2 hours of virtual content each day, talking about Filecoin State of the Union, how the tech stack's evolving, new opportunities for builders and service providers to offer their services within the Filecoin economy, and new updates on how we're starting to think about value accrual and L1, L2 ecosystem alignment in the Filecoin economy, learning from some of the things that other networks are doing in real time. So come join us. You literally don't have to fly anywhere. That's got to be a huge plus for these days conferences. There's going to be a great gathering. The Luma's linked here. If you are traveling in the next couple of weeks, hopefully you're going to meet up with other folks across the PL network in Dubai alongside Token 2049. There's going to be some awesome founders dinners. There's going to be great opportunities to connect with other people in real life. So join the Telegram to stay updated about speaking opportunities, side events, other things that's happening in Dubai. And then a lot of folks are also going to be getting together in person for Toronto Consensus. Toronto is beautiful this time of year, so let's all go gather and use this opportunity to really accelerate our ecosystem collaborations and learn about all of the new things and get to workshop them in practice in tight discussions with each other. So lots of exciting gatherings coming up. With that, we'll turn it over to libp2p for our first project update.
Thank you so much, Molly. Hi, everyone. This is Manu here. First time I'm talking at the EngRes. First of all, a quick intro on libp2p for anyone getting started in the Web3 infrastructure space. We essentially are a modular network stack for peer-to-peer protocols, powering Filecoin, Optimism, and Ethereum. Also, number of key blockchains, around 30 of them are using it in 9 different implementation languages and counting. So this is a quick intro about us. Some quick updates on the libp2p community. We have been having multiple launches, both on the builds front as well as the universal connectivity front. In Python libp2p, a bi-weekly launch last quarter. Special thanks to, I would say, Dave, Molly, for sharing some of the key priorities, and also for some of the other key members, Paul and Marco from the Ethereum Foundation. I mean, they've given some strategic inputs on how we could scale further. In reference to metrics, our unique contributions have really scaled up, and we are at an all-time high. I wish to also thank a lot of my friends from File Builders and File OZ team for also participating in a number of such discussions and a number of PRs. We also have a very good event coming along, a dedicated libp2p day at ETHCC. In case if you're planning to attend ETHCC, please do join us. We also have some grant opportunities available. If you wish to speak, please do connect with me. We are looking forward for projects which are around building custom protocols using libp2p. And also, we are trying to make some very key enhancements on Gossip Sub. So looking forward to some interesting R&D updates on that. And also a big shout out to some of our community friends from ETHCC. We would like to also have some of the PLDG members present over there. Special thanks to my PLDG stewards for giving us some good contributors this year, and also to Benjamin for making some impactful community contributions. Well, thank you so much. This particular slide is essentially, it covers all the community engagement channels we have. We are now available on almost all the channels that you can think of. We also have a universal connectivity app, which is more of a strategic knowledge hub for all things libp2p. Special thanks to, I would say, Raul, Juan, Molly. I mean, sharing key inputs on how we could make the community engagement better. This is also translating to adoption. Essentially, Mosh has been helping us a lot on how we could streamline some of the efforts along with Benjamin. We also have a massive PLDG community coming along with some of the new libp2p modules that have been launched, and they're all being used in production. Well, thanks, Mosh. Over to you. Thank you.
IPFS, take it away.
Quick update from IPFS, the data and content stack for Web3 and beyond. All right, so we're continuing to work along these 4 work streams. Hasn't changed, still similar focuses, just starting to see our work bear fruit along these four lanes. So the first is adoption, gaining a market share of total internet traffic. The second one is building blocks, so modular components that actually fit how people want to use IPFS in their stacks today. 3 is community and governance, and then D is working towards a download-free IPFS and a resilient public network. There's a lot of things to share. I think a few highlights I want to call out are, once again, Blue Sky reaching 32 million users, probably one of the most active social networks on the planet right now. And a lot of builders and new tools coming out of that community, including our Sky SatNav, which is a car explorer. At Atmosphere, at least 4 talks mentioned car files and got lots of great frontline bug reports. So you'll be hearing from me about that. Number 2 is Kubo, just released 34.1, which has auto TLS enabled by default for nodes longer than an hour. This is going to do a lot for availability of your nodes and data. So please upgrade to 34 if you haven't yet. And in 35, there's more providing improvements coming. Work on Dazzle continues, and we're reopening conversations on how Dazzle handles larger data. So some meetings coming up. Please come to CID Congress number 2, which is a virtual event at the end of April if you're interested in IPLD, CIDs, anything related to IPFS flavor data structures. We'll also be at some events later in June and in the fall. There are 3 open PIPs on DHT. One is just documenting something that already exists, but there's also new IPIP on Amino. So check those out if you do anything related to DHTs or the Amino Public Network. And then finally, after many years of work, maybe like 4 years, Chromium got the intent to ship for support for ED 25519. This is huge. It's probably going to affect 25 projects beyond IPFS and LibP2P. Huge thanks to the Agale team, Dietrich, for shepherding it this far. So coming very soon. It's like check mark, but still in progress, but also super exciting. And then Chromium, new web extensions API for custom protocol handlers. That will also be huge. It finally got a security review from the Chromium team, which I think is like almost as awesome as shipping. Getting the attention of that team and the focus. It's a big milestone towards eventually getting this landed. So, yeah. Lots of great stuff in the IPFS world, just making the web work more open, more modular, and more connected.
Amazing updates, Mosh, and excited to see that Chrome is helping push it one step forward as well. All right, Filecoin update briefly. If you haven't heard, Filecoin is a crypto-powered storage network. It's the largest decentralized storage network in the world, with it's like 2 exabytes of data stored almost at this point. Couple of updates on progress so far in 2025. We're 1 quarter in. So far, we're seeing a great increase in utilization rate. Number of large data clients is growing, and we're seeing some upticks in the daily onboarding of new data and new storage in Filecoin land, which is pretty cool. We're also seeing an ongoing shift in the storage provider landscape. So we have a number of folks who joined the network initially providing capacity and resources, and we're seeing a shift towards more kind of production-ready clients that are serving revenue-generating deals and focusing on paying customers and real infra services. So we're shifting from our capacity era to our utilization era, and the storage provider landscape is shifting accordingly, which is pretty awesome. There's a number of exciting new core service breakthroughs or improvements that are happening. Mentioned before around proof of data possession, which is a big step forward in terms of having a fast storage proof. You can load your cat images and website or favorite Suno AI song off of PDP and make it super snappy and easy to use. Fast finality, which is entering its hopefully last stage of passive testing next week and coming to Mainnet. And then Filecoin Web Services, which is a really exciting new framework for deploying many different types of composable cloud services, having flexible payment structures around them, including using stable coins and having progressive deal payments over time for real just-in-time services or bandwidth costs or things like that, and composing them with each other into bundled storage plus compute plus bandwidth plus retrieval checking, etc. service offerings. So this is a really exciting thing that we're going to be talking about at the next couple of Filecoin Dev Summits as we build that out and enable more people to start selling more useful services within the Filecoin economy. And then huge snaps to Akave, Storacha, and Recall, who are all making really big improvements in their offering, how they're customizing Filecoin storage offering. If you haven't heard of Recall yet, they're making some big leaps in the AI agent-focused area. I think we'll get a brief update about that shortly. And we're seeing a lot of new paid deal interest that's flowing through from AI, DePIN, identity, media, and even Web2 R&D that are flowing through the Filecoin economy, really focused on cost effectiveness, ability to scale, better integrations and tooling, and also kind of the not getting locked into Web2 or specific jurisdiction bubbles that might cause frictions or risks in this constantly evolving landscape we're a part of. Wanting to have more local control and ability to work with local providers is a selling point as well. So a couple of exciting updates, highlighting some of the 3 top level goals that we've been looking at: generating revenue, generating client growth, and accelerating in-network activity. Paid storage deals, on-ramps are making a big step forward here. PDP launching is a new service, the first new service in addition to POREP that we can start selling in on-chain paid storage deals. And FWS is giving us much more flexible payment types so that we can bring more of that payment activity into the Filecoin economy on-chain, where a lot of these paying customers today have been doing their payments off-chain due to kind of lack of flexibility and not having the payment types that they want and need to guarantee their services. From client growth, really seeing, targeting new markets here, whether that's AI agent economy, folks like Blue Sky and Telegram. We have the Defiant now storing their media archives on Akave, and that's pretty exciting as big new users of Filecoin. And then big snaps on the in-network activity side for USDFC launching and starting to ramp up their stablecoin activity in Filecoin land. So more to come here, but wanted to give folks a snapshot in how these things are evolving. With that, over to Orion to tell us specifically more about NV25, the Teep upgrade.
Thank you, Molly. Yeah, so the NV25 upgrade is coming. It's right around the corner now. And the scope of this upgrade is we're adding support for EIP 1153 in the FEVM. We're also simplifying termination fee calculation, so it's easier to reason about if you want to terminate a sector. We're also removing the batch balancer and replacing it with a per sector fee. This should increase the ability to onboard more data to the network. So we will increase chain bandwidth here. And then we'll also have the F3 mainnet activation happening after the NV25 upgrade. So timeline-wise, we have completed the upgrade on CalNet. We had to ship a patch update as well to fix a bug, but that has been done, and we are now targeting upgrading mainnet on Monday. After that has happened, we will start doing some passive testing on mainnet with F3. And after we have found the perfect parameters for F3, we will publish those params to a contract, and then it will get propagated to nodes in the network, and F3 will be activated at a specific epoch. So yeah, that's NV25.
Awesome. Everyone get excited for Monday. All right, Marta, tell us about the FIL Plus updates.
Loads happening, very, very exciting things. Most importantly, we've now launched the experimental pathway meta allocator. And clearly I forgot to put links in there, but I will add them after the call. Where you can apply, and once you have a little bit of a code base developed and you just want to start testing your new pathway, your new way of allocating data cap, you can get 1 pip to do so and experiment with it. We're constantly launching loads of new dashboards, trying to provide better metrics. In the so we have the IPNI report tracking, we have data cap flow chart that really reflects how the data cap flows through different pathways. And we have now brought down the refresh all to 11 days total process, which is awesome for manual allocators, because we've so far only had manual allocators. And for those of you who don't know, there was a lot of challenges with how much time it takes to actually have a human review it, but we got hang out of it. FDS 6 will have 3 virtual tracks around FIL Plus and 3 workshops IRL. So make sure to check out the schedule. There will be one on designing allocators, there will be one on dashboards and metrics, and then will be one on round robin systems in Filecoin. And yeah, some more information for allocators if you want to see that, but yeah, follow along. And on FIL Plus channel on Slack, we post updates once every 2 weeks. So if you're interested in what's new in FIL Plus, just join the public channel and read there. Thank you.
Amazing. Recall, would love an update from you guys as well.
Yes, so some news on our end. In case you missed it, we merged with 3Box Labs, and now we've also rebranded Textile into Recall Labs. And that's mainly because we're just focused on building this one thing, which is Recall. And that's basically like what Recall is a agent competition network where agents can compete, improve their skill sets, and all that is backed by the Recall chain, which is like this essentially like an L2 built with the FEC stack anchoring onto Filecoin. So there's been like a lot of changes, especially recently. I'd say like if you're interested in learning more about Recall, head to our doc site. We just updated it yesterday with some of the latest things. But basically, we're running these competitions as a way to sort of like give you ways to like find like the best agents at a specific like skill set. The first competition we're running is based on trading. So we have this like sandbox environment, paper trading, and we're looking for agents right now and agent builders or people who just like want to at least like test out the space to leverage our tech. So we have some like new toolkits coming out, SDKs to make this easy. But we're just starting like with this like one focused competition, and we'll be rolling out more with broader skill sets, different ways for agents to like prove their intelligence essentially and earn rewards for doing so. So if you're interested, I dropped a link in there, but also you can just like send me an email or something. I'm dan@textile.io. Although we do have a Recall Labs domain, I gotta remember what that is. But yeah, that's some of the major highlights. So just keep an eye out for when that kicks off. The competition's in the next week or two, and then we'll have rolling ones iteratively every at much faster iteration cycles as we scale this thing out.
Very cool. Excited to see what everyone builds with Alpha Wave. Come present that at our next gathering so that we can see all of the cool demos and also hopefully take advantage of your new alpha coming from those agents on all the ways that we can or should be updating our trading strategies.
Hey, thanks, Molly. Hi, everybody. My name's Travis. You may know Storacha, and we can actually hit the next slide here. You may know Storacha. We nucleated out of Protocol Labs last year. We used to be known as Web3.storage. So if you've used that service, you're actually already a user of us too. We are decentralized hot storage that just works, and we onboard 5 terabytes to Filecoin every week. I manage the engineering team over at Storacha, and I'm very excited because we've had a lot going on. You may know some of the stuff we've been doing around PDP, where we have a big integration coming into that. But honestly, the big focus of our team has been external integrations for this quarter. We have a Telegram mini app that we are going to be launching in the next couple weeks. We're hoping for next week or the week after, but we'll probably kind of roll it out iteratively. That will let Telegram users back their chats up to Storacha. As part of that, we have an integration with Humanoid that is going to make it a little bit easier for people to get started with Storacha. So we're very excited about that shipping too. We've been talking a lot about the Atmosphere conference and Blue Sky and 34 million users. And so, of course, we're very excited about shipping an app that will let Blue Sky users back their posts up to Storacha. We actually launched something at the Atmosphere conference last week, a couple weeks ago now. It's been kind of a blur that lets users basically back their Blue Sky repositories up using just their browser. So the data never really goes through our servers. It just goes to their browser and goes directly to Storacha. We're going to be launching within the next couple of weeks a version of that actually lets people set up automated backups. What's cool about this is that it's actually a play for the entire Atmosphere ecosystem, the entire app protocol ecosystem. We're already working with some app builders to integrate Storacha-powered backups into their apps, and they are working on things that aren't just focused on the Blue Sky lexicon. So this is something we're very excited about as potentially a much bigger play than even just social media. It really is something about backing up people's core data to Storacha and making it available for them to. The word of the day at the Atmosphere conference was credibly exit the Blue Sky service or whatever service is hosting their data. On top of that, something we're very excited about is an integration with the LIT protocol. If you're not familiar with the LIT protocol, it is a private key management network that uses threshold encryption to enable some really interesting user flows and use cases. When you take LIT and put it on top of the UCAN-based authorization that we do for everything in Storacha, there's some very, very exciting things. We have already released a blog post describing how to use LIT with Storacha because it's possible right now. We've released a library, or we're very close to releasing a library that makes it basically dead simple to do this. And on top of that, we are going to be going back and integrating Lit into both the Blue Sky and Telegram apps to allow people to do things like say, well, I want to back my chats up, and if 3 of my family members have the appropriate keys, they can actually access those chats too. So there's a lot of really interesting kind of data backup things that we can do there. Finally, as if that weren't enough, I really thought I was going to stay easily within the 3 minutes, but it's getting a little tight. We have a bunch of work going on trying to make AI make a lot of sense in our stack. We've already released a plugin for Eliza OS, and we just released, I'm not sure if it's public yet, we're going to be doing some blog posts and stuff around it, but it's all open source, so it's out there, and a model context protocol server that's built on top of Storacha. Finally, one last thing that's not on the slide, just a little teaser. You may have heard we're working on a warm storage tier. I'm not going to say too much about what that means, but I can tell you it is going to be one of the cheapest ways to store a lot of data in the entire world. So, and in fact, I think we're pretty committed to making it the cheapest way, but we'll see how that works out. Thanks so much. We're very excited about the next quarter with Storacha, and stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a lot more updates next time.
Woot. Yeah. What is the least spicy pepper? That can be the warm version.
Yeah, something
Storacha.
gentle.
Coming soon. Like Cholula or something, hot sauce. Amazing. Well, great updates, and everyone go try out Storacha on Telegram and Blue Sky and with your own favorite personal data archives. On to Akave. Give us an update, please.
Hi. So in the last quarter, we've made a lot of updates to our O3, which is our S3 compatible interface. We are now officially qualified with Snowflake, and we're on their website as the first decentralized data layer that's qualified with a $1 billion company that's pretty hard to get into if you don't have a real customer behind you. And so this has been driven by a real customer. This actually continues, it helps our strategy because we're trying to connect with more compute platforms so that, we are very complementary and can pull more of these data sets out of the cloud into our decentralized stack and store on Filecoin. So this is fantastic. And we also, as Molly already mentioned, we also stored the defined articles on Filecoin, and that happened literally in a matter of a day, primarily because we had an S3 compatible interface, which is what they wanted, and it was very easy to just move these data sets over. And so it's an ongoing request, is like even from some other teams that we have seen now to come back from Binance Greenfield and some other ecosystems that have come to us and said, look, we've tried other stacks that that claim to have S3 compatibility, but if you don't have the last 5% of the APIs, the API calls, you basically don't have a solution. And that's where we differentiate, and looking forward to add more customers in the next quarter, because Akave Cloud is now up and running as well. The S3, the Akave O3 will be available officially to the public in May 1st. So right now we have some early adopters that are playing around with it. We're also participating in a hackathon where some of the hackers are playing with it. So yeah, very excited to the next quarter.
Epic. Congrats on the Snowflake integration. I know that is not easy and super, super useful for all of these enterprises that want to make a super smooth switch over. So thanks for making that easier and approaching a whole new set of customers. Amazing. We are now over to Checker Network. Patrick, give us the update.
Hey, Patrick here. Checker Network. Our vision is crowdsourced cybersecurity, network security, and network intelligence. And if we go to the next slide, I've got some updates on the Checker Network. And then as this is EngRes, we can speak a bit about Filecoin Spark too. For those who weren't aware, or maybe I spoke about this in January or February, but Filecoin Station became the Checker Network. So if you're running a Filecoin Station node, that will soon become a Checker node. We've had over 120 accounts created in the Checker Network, and each one of these is a Web3 account, so it's a FIL wallet. We've had 45 plus monthly active accounts across the last 2 calendar months, and these are all around the world. Checker is structured such that people are building Checker subnets. One of these subnets is Filecoin Spark to test retrievability on Filecoin. We've also had, we've been in hackathons recently where we've had other builders building out subnets. So we've started to do checks across many different networks, aside from just Filecoin, and even some people reaching into some AI use cases, which is really, really exciting. In March, we launched a white paper alongside the Crypto Econ Lab, and this goes into lots of detail around how we can incentivize honest reporting in the Checker Network. because it is itself a decentralized network. Moving on to Filecoin Spark, which is our pilot and kind of most developed checker subnet. The retrieval success rate of Filecoin as measured by Spark continues to rise, and there's actually been loads going on here. Particular recent releases, which I can speak of. We've had the IPNI reverse index, which is shipped, which allows us to understand which payload CIDs are part of a particular piece. And actually, the first bullet point of upcoming was shipped today. So we've got Spark, Curio, and DDO compatibility, which is now ready to go. And this links to so much of the sort of like gas optimization stuff and like moving storage providers onto cheaper ways to onboard data through DDO, but still getting those checks with Spark. So that's all ready to go, which is a good milestone to have reached. What else have I got here? Yes, we can now partition our scores by client and allocator, which is really cool. It gives us much more understanding of like that data onboarding process or data cap onboarding process, excuse me, and who's performing well in those flows. Working closely with the FIL team there. And then we're working in the upcoming section, working more with FILOS on how Spark and some Spark variants, such as retrieval checking based on pieces and range requests, and also like the retrieve protocol, how those can become FWF services, such that they can guarantee or assure retrievability of paid deals when FWS launches. So loads of really exciting things on the Filecoin side as well. I'm sure I've missed some stuff, but I'll stop there. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. And congrats on the awesome launches and improvements. Pretty cool. Eric, give us the Randamu update.
So we've got a lot of things that have been happening over on the Randamu side as well. For starters, we've launched completely new websites for Randamu and for drand.love. So please do check those out. We've got lots of new resources available, lots of interesting content. We also launched the Decipher Crypto Light Paper, which is sort of a lightweight version of an explanation of our new Decipher network, which in addition to randomness also contains conditional encryption and a bunch of interesting logic primitives that we think can lead to a programmable decision fabric across multiple network nodes. I was hoping to have the tokenomic white paper published for you guys today. Unfortunately, we're still having some formatting problems with that, so that should be up very soon. So please keep an eye out for that. We have recently launched our new Decipher network and are accepting applications for testnet node operators. We've already got our first cohort of node operators who have raised their hand and said that they'd like to join us in this new journey. And so Decipher is a new network that will complement the DRAM network, our free, open source, and publicly available public goods network. We also recently published DRAM randomness to base Sepolia. So you should be able to find that here very shortly. I've updated some links in the deck, so when we refresh the deck, those should pop up. We're establishing a new Swiss association, which for those of you who may not be familiar, is a nonprofit foundation. So as Protocol Labs is to Filecoin, so this new Swiss association will be to DRAM and Decipher networks, if that makes sense. Molly's shaking her head. Maybe that's not quite the right metaphor. But it includes League of Entropy, DRAM, Decipher, and all the goodies that we put together there. So for those of you that are familiar with the League of Entropy, our permissions network for DRAM randomness, the pipeline for that continues to be strong. We've recently welcomed University Politecnica Catalonia, as well as Chengdu University of Information Technology to our testnet. And the LOE has recently promoted through our voting process HSLU, which is a major university in central Switzerland, as well as ZKV.xyz, which is a zero-knowledge validator partner of ours. And so they're also running nodes now as well. So for more information on all of this, feel free to drop us a line at info@randamu. And with that, I'll turn it over to our next presenter.
And that is Julian from CID Gravity. Take it away.
So 3 news for us. The first thing is the Curio integration. So CID Gravity is now directly integrated in Curio, which means like you don't have to deploy any piece of software to use the CID Gravity marketplace. So basically for storage providers, it's like one click and they can just like use the new marketplace and get access to new deal flow, pricing management, analytics, and performance. And for clients, that means like as it's easier for SP, there is more SP even using CID Gravity. So it's like get a broader number of SPs to work with. The second thing is the RIBS project has been handed over to us. So we manage RIBS, which has been renamed CID Gravity Gateway. CID Gravity, so just for those who don't know, so RIBS is a blog store layer that helps you onboard and is designed to onboard like hundreds of petabytes of data to the network. And this has been initially developed by Magic. So we keep the project open source. We are going to bring all our custom development that we made on RIBS open source as well. And part of it is the ability for RIBS to use our marketplace to send deals, which help clients to onboard like with almost like a 100% success rate first time. And we also now measure like retrievability and SLAs for clients. That could be also like custom SLAs, like latency or like bandwidth. Yeah, and the last one that has been landed last week is now we propose to SP and clients to set their price in USD per terabyte per month, which is much more easy than the previous AutoFill pricing. Nothing fancy here, like it's really like more like the way we present the data to end users. So it's more easy to understand than just like setting their price in AutoFill. So we still rely on the L1 market actor, and these are like still in AutoFill behind the scene, but they are converted with the standard Filecoin USD rate. That's all for me.
Super cool. Officially first to market with stable coin deal or stable deal pricing. So congrats, and that's pretty exciting.
Coming soon.
There we go. Okay, USDFC coming soon here. Amazing. Okay, on to our spotlights, which I think is very timely because first up we have USDFC. Masa, take it away.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to update about the launch of stablecoin USDFC. Super happy to make it live in Q1 as I promised. So now you can go to our web application. You can bring Filecoin and mint USDFC on Mainnet. So it is also now you can bring this USDFC to SushiSwap and actually trade with Filecoin. Was a little liquidity. So we're now building up the initial liquidity, bootstrapping on SushiSwap pool. Yeah, also, if you bring USDFC, it can bring to our lending market, and you can actually lend out. If you come to our application, you can see the interest rate is now like a 9% or 10%, which is quite attractive. And you can borrow, it's 8% something. So it's live, everything is live. So that's super exciting. So now in the alpha phase, what we are still doing is listing. We've done SushiSwap, CoinGecko, and a DeFi Llama, Glyph Wallet, and Filecoin TLDR is featuring. And now we're working on CoinMarketCap and Axler and Squid and a bridge functionality so that you don't need to hop over by yourself. It's automatic. And Ledger Nano is coming. And MetaMask is now you can use it, but we want to make it like a pricing is included. Yeah, also bug bounty program is launched already. So we already received a couple of improvements, and yeah, it's super helpful. And we're going to go into beta phase mid-April. Basically, it's for testing of Filecoin ecosystem and also do the SNS campaign to grow our followers. So I just pasted the new USDFC X account. Please follow this. Later on the beta phase, there's a USDFC trading campaign, basically, getting used to how to mint, how to lend out, and then targeting to make an announcement on official at FIL Summit 6. So thank you.
Amazing. Call to action for everyone. Help Masa do all of the testing and beta phase so that we can make him a man of his word for USDF6 as well. Amazing work. And great logo here. Pretty fun. Jared, give us the PLDG update.
Folks, we got 2 slides in 60 seconds, so I'm going to dive right in. If you're not familiar with PLDG, we bridge the gap between emerging technical talent and all of you open source projects across the PLN. We are now actually approaching being a year old, and we have learned a lot over that year. 2024 was highly experimental. So we take all of this great energy around individuals who want to contribute to open source and channel that into impact. 2025 is now actually about scaling and growing. We have some data here from our first 2 cohorts that we've really been able to map out. And the biggest challenge and opportunity that we've been looking to tackle over the past year is how do you scale the amount of impact you create while maintaining the same level of quality, right? And so we are in the midst of proving that out and in the midst of scaling, which has been really, really exciting. We are now wrapping up our cohort 2. And thank you to so many of you all who have shared some love in the chat. Our contributors have been doing some really great work across not only just some technology partners that are listed here, but even more broadly. And more importantly, they're taking on higher value work, which for us is exactly the data points we've been looking to prove out. Specifically, what we've actually used is LLMs or just AI models as a judge to really understand what level of difficulty are these contributors taking on as they get more embedded into the ecosystem. And we're seeing that progress, which for us has been really, really exciting, particularly issues that we would quantify as L3 or L4 level engineers. If you go to the next slide, what we're now thinking about doing and actually implementing is evolving our program so that any partner we work with is able to immediately work with our strongest contributors. And we essentially are taking a 2-track model where we take what we're referring to as our guild members or members that have participated in multiple cohorts that are essentially the top 20 to 25% of our programs and embedding them with some of our larger partners. We're parallel pathing that with newcomers who we're spending more time with on education, really getting them immersed with partners across the ecosystem and giving them context on best practices in open source. And so for us, this has been really, really exciting as we've spent a lot of time taking this massive data set of contributions and contributors. It's literally over 1,000 rows of data that we're assessing and saying, how do we make this journey sustainable? How do we make this journey cohesive, and how, more importantly, do we make this journey accelerated? And that's exactly what we're doing as we're evolving the program. We could probably spend another 30 minutes on just how we're evolving our retro PGF and incentives. But the TLDR here, folks, is that we have been able to take this program into now something that we truly believe can be a sustainable pillar, not only for you all as tech partners, but specifically for the ecosystem and even beyond. Actually, earlier this year, I want to give a huge shout out to Anuba and Nikki, who's also on the line. We've had inbound from the Ethereum Foundation, inbound from a variety of partners, even outside of PLN, who are seeing this and interested in say, tell us more. And so it's been really exciting to see the growth. Last thing I'll say before I jump, if you know anyone who is interested in participating, or you yourself are interested in getting involved, scan this QR code here. It'll take you to our website, small link tree with some links. We'd love to chat. Thank you all so much.
Amazing. I love this program. You guys are making such important progress and introducing new people to these ecosystems. So keep it up, and amazing to see how folks are continuing to scale. Nikki, tell us about Modular Worlds. It's pretty exciting.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki. If you don't know me, I work on network programs at Polaris. Today, I'm very excited to share with you our big summer hackathon happening virtually called Modular Worlds. And it's not just one hackathon, it's actually part of a series of hackathons that we are going to call PL Genesis. And the first one has $200,000 in prizes from Protocol Labs. And currently, I am looking for more partners to come and join this hackathon. We have 3 tracks: secure sovereign systems, decentralized economies, governance and science, and AI and autonomous infrastructure. And in addition to just the virtual leg, we are also going to have a series of events and workshops happening across May and June, which will overlap with like all major crypto events happening in that period in Europe, Asia, and Africa. And I'm very excited to meet a lot more developers. A lot of new developers come and join our ecosystem because of this hackathon. We will also follow this up with a post-hackathon early founder program called Founders Forge. And yeah, the happening is happening in from May 29 to June 30. And reach out to me if you want access to the hackathon deck. And super excited to work with. I've already reached out to many of you about this, but I have an updated deck to share with you guys. Check out the slide for more links to look at to be part of the Dubai events. We'll be hosting a couple of dinners, and I've linked the main events that are happening. And if you're looking for speaking opportunities, we have a brand new speaker matching program. So you can go ahead, look at the doc and sign up to be a speaker. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Also check out the IRL page, which Anuj will talk more about in detail, but that's where we can actually list all the members that are attending the events.
Amazing. Well, if you're coming to Dubai and want to come to any of these gatherings and or speak at many of the events that people are asking the Polaris team, hey, who should speak at this? Join this Telegram chat and promote yourself so that we can make sure that we can invite you to all of the network connection opportunities. All right, Meredith, tell us about FDS.
Hi, everyone. I'm Meredith Palante, head of events at FF. Good to see you all. This has been a really, really awesome gathering today. I've been learning a lot. I just wanted to make sure you're all aware about FDS 6 coming up virtually and in Toronto IRL. Check out those links. I'll drop them in the chat as well. You can capture the QR codes there to register. We have a lot of great tracks coming up virtually. It's April 23rd through 30th. Filecoin State of the Union, navigating growth markets and shifts, storage adoption, on-chain tech stack, tools and builders, value accrual and funding, governance and community. This probably hits many of you. Please come to the virtual event sessions. They're going to be 2 hours or less, and they will also be recorded and put online after. I do want to stress, though, for many of you on this call, the real exciting stuff is going to be happening, obviously, virtually. You're going to learn a lot. But then IRL in Toronto, we are going to be getting together to align across teams, unblock progress, share bugs packages, jointly prioritize roadmap items. You know, you could participate in workshops and network upgrades, FIPS, architectural improvements. Like, there is going to be real work being done IRL. It's not going to be a bunch of talks. It's going to be you sitting down with each other and moving the needle forward on the Filecoin project and the things that you care about most. So it's really important to have you there. Please reach out to me, reach out to Molly. If you have questions on what types of things you should be doing IRL, we'll have some specific messaging coming out to you all so that you can understand, hey, where can I add value? Why should I be there? So please look out for that. Look out for some personal invites. A lot of you on this call should be in the rooms. We want to make sure that you're giving the feedback on the tooling and infrastructure that you rely on every day for Filecoin. So please come. Reach out to me if you have any issues with coming, by the way. We're happy to help you at the Filecoin Foundation. We want to make sure that you're in the room. So again, check us out virtually, FDS 6 coming your way this month later. And then again in May, it's around Toronto. We'll also have some other really exciting things going on, like a cool co-working space that's right next to a pickleball court. So maybe some fun things going on there, as well as Consensus in Toronto. We have an activation around one of their DeFi meetups. So really want to make sure, DPIN meetups. So we really want to make sure that the teams that are going to be on the ground at Consensus can come and be part of that. Reach out to me again if you're going to be there. Some dinners, a lot of stuff going on. We'll have all of it on the Filecoin Foundation website. Lumas will be coming your way, so just keep your eyes open.
Epic. Okay, everyone, you can register here today. Let's go. On to Endomorphosis, IPFS Kit Pi.
Yeah, I mean, I actually haven't gotten a proper name for it. So if you guys just want to give me one at some point, that's fine. But so what I want to explain is what this is all about. So this is like taking some ideas from ZFS and from Protocol Labs and from machine learning. And this is a multi-tiered file system. I have storage backends with the list here that you can see. And they have different sort of access patterns, you know, the von Neumann architecture, where you have like your cache that sits close to the CPU, and then you have your data hierarchy all the way down. And so this is like in memory first, and I use Parquet and Arrow column restore to store the data in memory. And it's accessible over C bindings, which means that it can be accessible from different languages. And also I can sort of map the latent space of a model to like a CID, for example, so that I can do something like at Lion, we're working on like these 3D animated avatars. So if I have one model that does the inverse kinematics on the skeleton and the other one that animates the face, you know, I need to be able to have different models that are connecting to the latent space or latent vectors inside of those models. That's why I need to have 1 microsecond read writes essentially to that in-memory file system / database store. And I try to make sure that everything is replicated. So, you know, even though you're manipulating stuff in memory, it does get pushed out to IPFS and Storacha and Filecoin. And I am inside of the metadata, which has like this ZFS sort of snapshotting. It has this metadata for the vectors and for the knowledge graph. At Lion, we're trying to get like a good knowledge graph of all of Wikipedia and all of the legal corpus, because, you know, safe robots and safe agents should follow lawful behavior. And so this will be GraphRag ready. Right now, I don't have the search connected to it. This is just the storage part of it. And I do have the search part, it's just not finished. Right now, there's a CLI tool. There's, if you know about like Claude Code, there's like an open source one called Anon Code. And I'm connecting that to LilyPad and this MCP server. You can use a Python CLI that exists. There's some Python imports. At some point in the future, I'll try to push this further down into libfuse so that it's just sort of transparent to the file system, and implement some Docker and Kubernetes type stuff, because we're training models, right? So essentially we want to have like a little cloud inside of this German supercomputer, and that is provided by the government. And essentially we need when you're training the models, the data already has to be in memory by the time you're requesting it, right? So we need to sort of be able to do this prefetching and this this sort of write ahead logs sort of stuff, where we're like really churning through data at a high speed of rate, and then at like sort of checkpoints, just pushing the checkpoints out to the IPFS and Filecoin networks. And then at the edge device, where we're going to have the 3D avatar, having that be able to use this GraphRag over Wikipedia, for example, to give you factually grounded answers, and be able to have a sparse autoencoder that sits around the language model to steer it so it doesn't veer into unsafe linguistic territory.
Thanks so much, Ben. Sorry, we have to run on to the next presenter, but this is pretty cool, and I feel like deserves its own deep dive at a future time. So definitely drop your info. It looks like John and a couple people have more questions and would like to learn more. Okay, I know we are just about at time, but if folks can stick around for a couple more minutes, we have a few more folks to present, Fireproof and updates to the directory. So Mosh, J. Chris, feel free to take it away quickly.
Yeah, J. Chris is on a flight, but he shared some stuff for us to check out in his absence. So open a new browser tab and type vibes.diy. Fireproof, which is a run anywhere database built on IPLD, has built this kind of microsite that lets you generate one-shot apps. So you can try out that interface, make a synth sequencer, make an image generation app, make a little calculator. And Fireproof has added an LLM.txt to much more easily be part of the stack of any automatically generated applications. hit up
Awesome.
Chris for any questions or comments.
Maybe a great tool for jumping into some of these agent and similar hackathons to build things with Fireproof as well. All right. Zen, do you want to tell us a bit about PDP?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. So PDP is on Mainnet. So PDP hot storage, more flexible, easier to store, should be around, so easier to retrieve. You can see a little demo running for getting a web app hitting a public API on a Curio node that's running PDP. And there's the proof you can see highlighted. So we have verifiable hot storage, and you can do things like post cat pictures, which is sweet. Fill Slack, fill PDP channel if you're interested in storing, or if you're an on-ramp or a client, somebody that wants to store hot storage, please reach out there. Hit me up. It's nground0. We're really excited. There's some like actual tooling. We have Explorer. We have like slight web presence. It should be kind of easy to use. Everything is working. Yeah, thanks.
Amazing. And if you want to become a host, it's really not that hard. Don't have to spend a lot of money to become a PDP-SP, and we are looking for more folks who want to try it out. So click on the link there to learn more. We have a hackathon that's going on, so there's going to be some fun stuff coming out of it. Maybe we can one-shot some apps with Fireproof as well. All right, Ashley, tell us about PL membership.
Hi, everybody. This is Ashley from the network optimization team at Polaris. Really excited to be on the call today to announce PL membership, which is a structure that we're creating to define level of impact and contribution in the network, rewarded by tiered benefits. We're going to do that through attracting some really amazing teams, obviously including all of you that are here today, and ensuring that we're highly aligned to all of the missions, et cetera, of PL. We're going to do that through activation and empowerment of these teams with access to amazing tools, discounts, resources, and opportunities to help accelerate innovation of those teams, as well as then retain those teams, keeping them growing, and making sure that we're collaborating as a community so that we all progress. So we're really excited. A beta, we're going to start with our team membership first. Beta team's going to launch in Q2, and then we'll roll that out broader. And we're looking to launch individual membership in Q3 of this year. So if you have any questions or just want to share how excited you are for membership, let me know.
Woohoo. Excited to have people be able to get more and more involved in the network over time by helping each other and providing more and more benefits to each other. Amazing. I know we are tight on time, but Anuj would love to give you a little bit of space to tell us about new capabilities in the PL directory.
I'll go real quick because I know we are over time. I'll talk quickly about LabOS. So LabOS is a word that's get thrown around. Not many people know about it, but it's essentially a suite of products we have designed. We want to make sure that there is so much knowledge in the network that there is proper diffusion of that knowledge, that people are connecting with each other, that there's a coordination optimization. And so these tools are built so people can connect with each other. There are 4 new features that I'll talk about. We have Husky, which is our AI LLM agent. Maybe I can do a quick demo. Okay, awesome. So this is the homepage of the directory. You can access Husky from the homepage itself or on the top right here. I have it open so we don't have to click through. If you are logged in, and only if you're logged in, you get the threads, and you can share your threads with others as you ask these questions. I was just during the call looking for a question around investment and grant advice, and Husky just told me these are the few people that I should reach out to if I'm interested in that. The directory profiles say here, so I can kind of click through and go from there. I was also interested in seeing who I should partner with if I'm in the decentralized storage industry. And I got some known names here. Storacha is here, FIL Store, D-Store, so there's that. Go check it out, play around with it. You can also see the people that it recommends. One of my favorite is I was asking about Akave, the recent funding they have raised, and it actually surprised me that I was able to find out more accurate information from November 2024. There's source around that I can go check. And in addition to that, I was curious about Stefan's past experience. So Husky pulled me this whole thing about Stefan's past experience. I'm like, that's really impressive, Stefan. That's great. Anyway, go, find people, look into them, see what they have done in the past. It's a lot of fun to kind of get to know people and just kind of close that knowledge gap, share this with others. I'll quickly walk you through events page. This is fairly new in the directory. The goal here is to kind of bring everything that's happening across the network and ecosystem in one place. So you can see which events are happening where, what are some of the current and upcoming events. You can even ask ASCII for more details around who's hosting, who's attending, but here's a contributor dashboard, and this will extend over time, but you can already see people who have been hosting or speaking. Here's Molly as a host for 3 events and speaker, and we have a bunch of teams representing some of these. This, of course, shows larger contributions is kind of spread by the contribution from the team over time. This view right here shows all events without geo grouping. So if I wanted to see everything happening in March, this would be my view here. You can also submit events fairly quickly. So if I was to click on the submit an event button, it takes me to the submit page, which looks like so. And I can quickly submit an event. Here, I can even link in my Luma, so it fetches all the agenda from the Luma and updates it in the schedule page, which looks like this. This is for the Dubai events, and so everything from Dubai will show up here. I'm jumping here very quickly, but from events, I wanted to talk about projects page. Again, something that is right on the navigation on the top of the directory. Projects is a cool space, especially if you're building something new. It's a best place to kind of put it on the directory so others can see. Here's an example project. This is my favorite because I see so many contributors here, and I can look deeper into their profiles and how they have contributed. I can also see some project stats here and some related projects. This is a Markdown supported page, so you can pretty much add anything as long as you have a Markdown support for that. Also shows teams that have been contributing. It seems like there's 12 teams or so, 16 actually, that have contributed here. And the last but not the least is members. And the reason I'm here in members is because I wanted to say a couple of things. One, I use this regularly to book time with other members and see who is offering time, but also list my time. So my action item for everybody here is, if you have not already added your office hours, please go and add it so others can find you and they can find time to connect with you. Here I'll show you one quick way of doing this. So I was looking to connect with Ray, who was the founder of Kariba, who has also built the open source observer. And I'll go right here, click on schedule meeting. Once I do this, it kicks me off to his calendar. But here's the piece. When I go back to the directory, it asks me if I've actually scheduled office hours with Ray. And this is useful because if you say yes, then you can tell Ray at some point how useful this time was for him and you. Right now, I'm gonna not say anything here, but I can always go back to this notification and I can choose to say, yes, I did connect with him, or no, I did not. Anyway, that is a quick overview of the directory and some of the features. I know we're out of time, but 6 minutes wrap.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the overview, Anuj. I know there's a lot of really good tools in there that not everyone knows about. So excited to get them out there and help people start using them. Highly recommend office hours, in-person gatherings. It allows us to be like, who's going? Who should we suggest to be a speaker, or enable to present it at this thing that's happening. So please do use some of those awesome features. They really help us create deeper connections between everyone.
Yep.
Booyah. And with that wraps our April EngRes The Gathering. Join us April, May, June, in beginning of June for our next EngRes Gathering. Excited to see you all there, and have a wonderful next 2 months. Cheers, cheers.